Hello degree students, just a quick video here to walk you through the specifications on your first written assignment. I know we haven't had a written assignment yet. I'm going to go pretty easy on you guys on this one in terms of sort of picking apart the content itself. You just need to try and meet these criteria down here. So I'm in the assignment description in week 5, so week 5 content, 6% blog entry assignment. And I'm going to actually go through in this video how you would complete this. It'll take less than 5 minutes and then you'll know what to do, okay? So after we take after we take our only test, after we take our midterm in week 6, the first thing we're going to do is go right into the final project instructions, how you're going to set up a project, all this stuff. And one of the things you need to do is pick a live client, like pick an actual business to focus on for your project and build a website for or improve a website. I want you to write about that in the format of a blog post. So if you don't have a live client yet, or you don't know who you're going to use, you really haven't thought about it much yet, you need to just pick something tentative, okay? And if it changes, that's all right. And you're basically profiling a business. You're going to write about a business, what they do, talk about some history, sorry about that, talk about some history, stuff like that. And then just put it into the format of a blog post. So I'm not very specific about what I want you to do. You're just profiling a business in 500 or 1,000 words. Tell me all about them. There's no right or wrong answers. I would like to see proper grammar, spelling, that kind of stuff. I'm going to be looking at that. But I'm not grading you on the quality or accuracy of your work. This is just for the purpose of using the dashboard a little bit, showing me you can use it, and starting to think about your live client. So the specifications that I provide, I am going to grade this in somewhat of a pass-fail format. I don't love rubrics. I use rubrics for a lot of our assignments, and you'll see those later in the term. But this one's going to be quite simple. You're either going to pass, you're going to get partial, or you're going to fail. The only way you can fail is by not doing it. Okay, and the only way you would end up getting partial is by missing a number of things in here. So I asked you to do some specific things, and I'm going to go into the dashboard now and show you what to do. But you'd have to miss quite a few things. So this is an easy mark to do well on. It's your first formal assignment. I want you guys to do well, so just get it done and get it in the Dropbox. Okay, Dropbox is open. You may be watching this in a later semester, so I'm not going to start giving you dates and stuff in here, but the Dropbox is ready to go. And here's what to do. This is assuming you have WordPress up and running. So you would go into your WordPress dashboard. It's got to be up and running. I'm not going to go through that. That's all the other videos, okay? WordPress should be up and running. You log in, you go into it. And even though this is a blog post, you can use either the add new post page or the add new page from your dashboard. It doesn't really matter which one, because what I'm doing is I'm having you create content in WordPress so you can do hyperlinks and add an image and stuff like that. And then when you go to submit it, you guys will likely be in visual view right here. So hello, I'm some content. Okay, when you go to submit it, you would then go to text view and submit to me the text view version of it. So I have some information I've prepared. Just hang on a second. I'm just going to cut and paste it in here. Okay, so my example here is about a company called Sparks. Really cool event management company out of the KW area. They're actually a real company. I've just boosted some of their content. It's about 500 words, and I've added a bit myself. So, and you may end up doing the same thing, right? You may already have some of this content, and you would want to go in and break it up and add some more. Sometimes web content is better broken up than the type of stuff you might get right out of a brochure or from some big long about page on their website. So I'm going to take my content. I have it in Microsoft Word, which was a suggestion I made in the instructions just to make sure the grammar's okay. And then I'm going to put it right inside of WordPress. Okay, I already did that. Oops. Okay, there it is again. So the content's in here now. So I'm going to have to go in and like kind of make my enters and make my lines. And at this point, this is where you'd want to publish it to make sure that you have the thing saved. So I'm going to just publish it. This is my demo site anyway. I'm just going to publish it as blog assignment in my demo site. Okay, publish. And then there's things I want you to add to the content. Hyperlinks, headings, and an image. Okay, so from here's where the video is going to get kind of short because I'm going to show you a couple examples and then you guys are just going to go take it from there. So I've broken up my content a little bit. What you want to do is get your content all organized. Then, per our week 4 lecture, you would want to make sure, let's update that. You would want to make sure that you have the TinyMCE plugin installed. So I took it out so I could install it again in this video. So I'm going to go to Add New, and I'm going to go TinyMCE. And if you don't install this plugin, you can go to w3schools.com. That's another site I showed you, I think, in the second week. And it'll show you how to do HTML heading tags. But this plugin will actually do all that basic HTML stuff for you. So once I install it and activate it, when I go back to the page where I was working on this assignment, and this assignment really isn't about WordPress, it's about just using a couple things in it, but you're actually submitting it to me in text format. So it's kind of a funny assignment that way. And I spelled assignment wrong. Probably fix that. Blog assignment. So now all of a sudden you can see, now that I installed that plugin, look at all these tools I have up here available. So I want to make a heading 1. I'm going to put heading 1's going to be about Sparks, okay? And I'm going to highlight the text. And instead of going over here, so I could go over here and highlighting the text, I can use the tools up here in text view to add headings, okay? But they don't actually have standard heading tags. They give you a bunch of basic stuff, but they don't give you headings in the standard version of WordPress. And the HTML code for heading is actually quite simple. It's H1, and then it's close H1. And you remember in week 2 when I first kind of taught you the difference between a content management system, coded website, and this type of website, I told you you're never going to have to learn this, and I still stand by that. So the fact that I'm in here coding it is only if for some reason you can't get the plugin installed, but I've shown all of you how to do that, including Mac users. So you don't need to do it that way in here. Watch this. If I go to Visual View and I highlight that and I want to make that a heading 1, and I go in here and I go insert, where is it? Oh no, it's actually, it should be format. Format, I don't use this that much. HTML blocks, there, it's a block type formatting. So you go in there, format, heading 1, highlight it, it makes it a heading 1. If you go to text view now, you can see it's put those 2 tags in there exactly like I did for you on your behalf. That's the TinyMCE plugin working to your advantage, okay? So that's for the headings, which are actually the third thing listed in the list here. Let's go back up to the top of the list here, the stuff you have to do, the hyperlinks. So let's say here I wanted to link to something else on the line where it talks about face-to-face marketing. Okay, so I just wanted to link this text to face-to-face marketing. So this is kind of a bad example. I'm just grabbing the first text I see and doing a link. But you would go there, click that, click hyperlink. You would have a place set up that talked about face-to-face marketing. And I'm not grading you on the quality of your links. I just want to see that you've done some links, right? Here's a professor site, actually, a marketing professor site. Let's use that link, face-to-face marketing in the digital age. And you would put that full URL, the domain with the full extension URL in there, and you would make a hyperlink. After it's in there, you can just hit enter. Remember, again, as we learned in week 5, if you want to do something relative to your site, okay, if I want to link to, wait, why did I undo that? I just undid that by accident. Let's do that one more time. You'll see a couple examples. Okay, if you want to link to something relative to your site, you would click the gear icon and you can link to anything internal in the site. If you want to link to an external page, you can link it right there in the quick window. So just paste the link in there, hit enter, okay, it's done. Click off it, it's done. Okay, now I prefer external links. If you hit the pencil button to edit it and go back in there, I prefer them to open up as a new window. But again, I'm not going to grade you that specifically. This is, as I explained, this is kind of a pass-fail thing. So then down here where I talk about the team, like right here, I could put the team. Like I'd like to see at least 3 different headings, maybe, well, 2 for sure. That could be a heading 2. So you see how you use the hierarchy of headings there, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Down here I talked about jobs at Spark, so I could add another heading. So I've shown you now how to do hyperlinks, how to add headings. And if you didn't have the TinyMCE plugin, I even showed you how you could just code them in. And guess what heading 2 is? It's H2 instead of H1. Then somewhere in there, and this doesn't even necessarily have to be an image that relates to the content itself. I just want you to add an image. So when you add an image, if you haven't uploaded imagery like we did in week 5, you probably don't have anything in the media library. It would go right to here. I don't care if it comes from the media library or here. I'm not going to see the image anyway, the way I'm having you turn this in. You would add an image, okay, put it into the post, and you can align it. I'd love to see you guys doing proper alignment in with the text. See, like that. You can change the alignment in here. So this is all in the week 5 lecture video. So once you've done these things, once you've added the content, okay? And then you've gone in, you've had at least 3 hyperlinks, at least an image, and at least 2 different HTML headings. Then you go to text view, okay? You copy the entire thing. So all of the text, it'll have all the HTML code and everything in there. And this is another exercise in making sure you can show me that you know how to do this stuff. Okay, copy it out of there. So I'm going to copy it. You can cut it, copy it, whatever. And then I'm going to go to Brackets, which is the text editing program I had you download weeks ago. Okay, so we could edit the WP config file. And inside of Brackets, and by the way, when you open Brackets, in case you get, a lot of you have tried installing a few times, so you've had files that were open in Brackets that are no longer there in those folders. It might give you an error message when you first open because it's always trying to open the last file you had open. See this? This is the last WP config file I was working on, so it opens it automatically. If it can't find it, it often gives you an error. Just ignore that, okay? You're going to go File, New, in Brackets, and this looks a little bit different on a Mac than it would. You're going to paste all the text in there with all the code and everything. You're going to go File, Save As, and you can put this wherever. Okay, I'm just going to put mine in Downloads just for the sake of the example. And you're going to save it by your last name, and then week 5.html. So if your computer is not showing the extension automatically, you need to type in fact, just type it in anyway. It's a best practice. Type in .html, save it, okay, and then that is the file you submit to the Dropbox. So that was a bit of a crash course on how to get this assignment done. You're not just writing it up in Word and sending it to me. I want the code. I want to see these hyperlinks, okay? I want to see the image inserted. I want to see that you've done heading 2 and you've broken up the content a little bit. Okay, I want to actually see that. And it's not hard to get it done that way, guys. Okay, so just get it done, copy and paste it into the text file, and then once you have the text file there, and I just put mine in Downloads as an example. You guys save your files wherever you want to. It'll show as an HTML file, and that's what you put in the FOL Dropbox for the week 5 written assignment. Okay, email me if you have any questions, or your professor, whoever that may be. I know some people might be watching these videos in later terms, so good luck with it. Again, this is graded on sort of a pass, partial, fail basis. The only way to get a fail is to do nothing, so please do something and get it submitted to the Dropbox. As long as you meet the bulk of those requirements, most of them, even if it's not perfect, you're going to get a full pass, okay? That's it. Over and out.